Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Silent Shadowfire and today's video is going to be about tips to help you with anxiety. I'm going to give you 5 tips that may or may not work for you. Again, I am not a professional, so anything that I give you might not work. And they're just stuff that I've picked up on my journey through getting help with my anxiety, as well as other things. Now, like I said, these tips might not work for you necessarily, but it's always good to give them a shot if you feel like giving them a shot. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get into today's video. The first tip that I have is the 5-4-3-2-1 technique. Now, the 5-4-3-2-1 technique is basically, I would say it's kind of like mindfulness, where it gets you to look around you, it gets you to, you know, almost examine your surroundings in the here and the now. So it asks you to acknowledge 5 things that you can see with your own eyes. It asks you to acknowledge 4 things that you can hear or touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing that you can taste. Now, personally, I wouldn't have anything to taste if I, was doing this currently, but, well, I mean, I suppose I could have these. These have been, like, my obsession lately, so, I suppose I could have had those if I was doing those. But yeah, 5-4-3-2-1, it's a very helpful technique. I use it myself. It's good for grounding. I would say it's really good for the grounding mostly, but it might help with anxiety also. So yeah, 5-4-3-2-1. Tip number 2 is nature walks. Now, nature walks is something that I kind of scoffed at, if I'm being honest, because as someone who kind of experiences a lot of pain on a daily basis, I don't really like, it's sore to walk, it's sore to get out, and often I don't have the energy to do that, but nature walks can actually be quite nice. And a lot of the time when I go for a nature walk, I often come back feeling a little bit better, depending on where I've been. So often I would take myself to like woodland areas, or, you know, if I was ever by a loch back in Scotland, that's where I would be, by a loch. Normally it was Loch Hernehead that I would go to. It's a beautiful, beautiful loch. Would personally recommend that, but obviously due to COVID, I wouldn't. I would probably suggest maybe like a woodland area is probably the best idea. But it's very helpful to go, you know, nature walks, like even just listening to like the birds sing, you know, waves crashing, or, you know, the water trickling by a stream, things like that can be very, very relaxing and calming, and definitely very, very peaceful as well. But somewhere where it's just quiet and calm, just to collect your thoughts, can be very nice and very helpful for people with anxiety. So the third tip that I have is meditation. Now, meditation doesn't personally work for me. I don't use it, for reasons that I won't really get into. But anyone who goes through dissociation and PTSD, I would kind of say be wary of it. Like, use it with caution, like do it with caution. I wouldn't do it unless, obviously, you know, a medical professional said that it's okay. Even then, I would kind of recommend having someone there with you just in case, just to make sure that you're okay. before and after it. But meditation can be very relaxing. According to most people, it can help with anxiety, and generally it's very very uplifting at sometimes, from what I hear. But definitely give meditation a shot if that's what you think might work for you. Meditation, you might want to start with guided meditation first before like doing meditation on your own. It's normally very helpful. I know that there's some apps out there that do things like that. Like I think the mindfulness app does it. I think that Calm does it. I think Headspace as well does that sort of stuff. So things like that, it might be good just to get a guided meditation going first, just to know, get the feel for how it works, understand, and acknowledge and learn some of the techniques behind the meditation before you go off and do it yourself, without any guidance on it. But it's very helpful according to most people with anxiety. So yeah, that one might work for you. If it doesn't, let me know in the comments if it does work for you. And yeah. Number 4, self-care. Now, this one I would say is the most overlooked one, for the reason that not a lot of people put themselves first, but it's good every now and then just to put yourself first and have some time to yourself to do something that you enjoy, whether that be a bubble bath or watching your favourite movie or your favourite TV show, or reading a book, things like that. Just take some time to yourself to really enjoy the things that you want to enjoy doing. Maybe a self-care day might be worthwhile, just to kind of help just look after yourself a little bit. But self-care is definitely, I think, the most important one there, because I feel like if you don't really look after yourself, you're not really gonna get much in the way of anywhere with any kind of therapy or things like that, if you're not taking the time to go and do something that you enjoy. Because sometimes if you're going through therapy, or if you're going through anxiety management classes, things like that, it can be very tough tackling anxiety. I'm going to speak from experience when I say that. So sometimes just kind of taking the time to recoup and recharge your batteries, as it were, is often a good idea for you. Number 5, breathing exercises. Now, breathing exercises is pretty good for mid-panic attack, I would say. So if you're just kind of like in the middle of a panic attack, even if you're not in a panic attack, sometimes a breathing exercise can be very helpful. So breathing in gently and regularly. Some people find it helpful to count from 1 to 5. So you just breathe in for 5 and then breathe out for 5. Is normally what I do for that kind of thing. But anyway, thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. If you have any other tips that you would like to recommend to other people, please leave them in the comments section down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give a massive thumbs up, and if you aren't already, subscribe. And be sure to follow me on my social media as well. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and take care.